Hello everyone and welcome to Live What's Happening Coachella Valley. I am Francoise Rhodes and Craige is nowhere to... Oh,
hey!
I guess he is here.
What's happening? How you doing, Francoise?
I'm fine. You're looking very dapper.
Well, thank you so much. It's fall. You know, we got fall back. Are we falling back in November 1st? Is that?
Yes, November 1st.
Is that daylight? That's we're coming back into real time, or is that actually daylight savings time?
No. Spring forward, fall back.
I got it. So we're going to fall back into regular time here, November 1st, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
Can you believe it?
2 Sundays from now.
I'm wearing my coat because it's a little bit fall-y, even though it's 102 today. We haven't changed anything out here.
We are, and did you hear what the predictions are with our weather? It's supposed to be cold up north, hot in the south, where we are.
Nina.
Yeah, wet on the East Coast and dry on the West Coast. And then somebody said, well, it sounds like our typical winter.
That's true.
So
although we have La Nina this year, which, as you shared, means that the ocean temperatures are a little bit cooler at the equator. As a result, they don't have as much water being brought up into the air.
Yeah.
So, but in the Pacific, as you said, the Pacific Northwest, they're going to have a little more rain, and a little bit more. But where we're at, it's going to be drier this particular year. So back to kind of drought conditions, and we're already experiencing it. Do you know, Francoise, the weather should be about 89 degrees on average as we speak.
Really?
And today it will be 102. Tomorrow will be 102. Tuesday is going to be 102. Wednesday 102. We don't see a break in temperature.
I just want to wear long pants.
You know what? I wore long pants the other day. I'll have to tell you the story.
I was looking at my sweaters today. It would be nice to wear a sweater. I'm tired of Facebook changing everything. Do you know what?
You're taking over now because I'm going to try to push this off
Did any of you have internet problems this week? Google problems this week? Phone problems this week? I tell you, everybody. No. Not just me. Everybody is okay, I'll try to find this in a minute. I've heard reports at home. Google wasn't working right all day yesterday. My mother's phone was out with Frontier for a day and a half. Let's see what else. Facebook keeps changing things. I can't get
I don't see us live.
You know what I did?
Where are we?
I don't know. Did you push the button?
I did hit the button. I just don't know where we are.
I don't know.
Where are we actually at right now? Maybe we're on live on Today's California. I just haven't seen us.
No.
Yes, we are. We're on Today's California.
Oh.
Sorry about that, but I'm going to move us over right now, so don't worry about it. This will be a unique experience. I'm always doing something.
It's okay. It's all right. At least we're somewhere out there. I think I put us out. People will find us somewhere. So there's been a lot of strange things going on with internet and Facebook and Google, and I don't know. Have you had problems out there? I don't. And plus all this upgrade to 5G, that if you have 2G or G2 or whatever the heck it is, they say that's not going to work anymore. So you have to buy a new phone. And anyway, it's strange out there, right? It really is. I met with some people this week, and I tell you, mentally wise, people are in such a strange place. And then all this talk about what's going to happen the day of the election. I was telling Craige earlier, we keep talking about all this stuff that's going to happen, no matter what happens with the election. Who does everyone think is going to create all this happen? We are. So
we're the happening.
If we don't create all this stuff that's supposed to happen, I know people that are going to not go to work on election day for 2 days because they're afraid of what
they're worried about what might happen.
That's just terrible.
Yeah, that is hard.
Okay. Let me see. Anyway, we do have some things to talk about, though, going on in the Coachella Valley. I did bring this. I got this after I already voted. I get this in the mail afterwards, telling me where my
where you can go vote a second time.
I thought, why am I getting this now? Does it say I can even ask for absentee
2, 3,
ballot?
4 times. You should try it. I just want to know what's going to happen. I always wonder.
Palm Desert Recreation Center. Oh, Palm Desert Greens. The Recreation Center is
right next door.
Is our voter assistance.
You can climb over the wall and hit the polls over there.
But it was weird because I got this in a book about the election. I thought, isn't this a little late? Shouldn't I have been getting it way back before I already sent my ballot in? So if you get one of these, I don't really even know what the heck it is either. So anyway, they're threatening to take us back to the purple tier.
Okay. Wow, you are moving quickly here. You're going to get my blood going.
That'll really get Craige.
That's true. That is so true. That is true.
Threatening, but they gave us a week in Riverside County. I'm talking about. We're coming to you live. I'm Francoise Rhodes, and this is Craige Campbell, by the way. We are live. What's happening in Coachella Valley? And if you have not been to CoachellaValley.com, you are missing all the information you need in the Coachella Valley. It's that easy. CoachellaValley.com.
You know, we're located here in the Palm Springs area. There's 9 different cities. We're talking to Today's California. Thank you so much. This is a new show for you guys.
Yeah, that's right.
And we're happening. Are you on Today's California?
No, I'm trying to find us on.
It's not. You should go to Today's California.
Okay.
No.
Because my 16 pages won't come up either on Facebook. See, this is what I get.
That's
this is what I
good.
get when I try to get my pages that I work with. I get a big flat screen that says nothing. So you know what I'll do? I'll have to type it in. And here we go. Today's California, and it will come up. Oh, there we are, right there. Oh,
there you are.
Yeah. Hi,
all those
everybody.
people. There you go.
Yeah.
And do we have anybody that we know?
Have
Dan. Hey, Dan, you found us. That's
Gary
fantastic.
Price, ready for fall.
Gosh, I feel so much better.
Okay, now you guys can comment because we can talk back to you.
There you
Before
go.
I couldn't even find you. Oh, I turned my sound down too. Believe it or not, we were ready before we went on the air. We were just yakking about all sorts of stuff going on all over the place.
That's true. We were having a good time, just catching up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Francoise and I also, you know, we isolate quite a bit. Even though she works, she's an essential worker for the chamber there in Borrego Springs. In fact, she runs it.
Yeah.
But you know, we still are very isolated. You know, the social activity is different than meeting people with a mask or. You know, we were talking about just how reserved people can be, and it's not the same. So it's always great to catch up with you.
We zip through so much stuff.
It is
crazy.
a lot of fun.
And,
you know, I always feel so good with the show and also catching up with my friend Francoise. And, you know, we just get a great opportunity to kind of vent with you guys and share about things that are happening. We got Halloween coming up. You know, last week you asked me if there's anything going on. And so I put up an article on CoachellaValley.com. It's a very lead article right now. And there are a couple of things that are happening.
There should be.
You could go to the Desert Recreational webpage. Very important. And actually, I think on the 23rd, you can pick up a kit that you can take home. That's a Halloween kit that you can put together, make costumes, do different things. So there's a lot of little things like that. And of course, we have Halloween at the Living Desert.
Yes, I have some info on that.
The Discovery Museum has a drive-through. They're opening up their area and doing a drive-through haunted house. I think that's super cool.
Okay, now that you brought that up, a car wash in the valley. What's their name?
Where's it located?
Quack. I don't know. I think it's the name of a duck or something. You people in Coachella.
Is it Cathedral City?
I think it's that one.
Okay.
They are doing something so cool. They have decorated the inside of the car wash, and you pay a small fee and go through the car wash, and it's a Halloween tunnel.
I think it's fantastic.
Is that so cute?
It's wonderful. Hey, the river also is going to have on, I don't know if it's Halloween Day specifically. You could probably go to the river, look at the information. Rancho Mirage, first of all, I know we're talking to Today's California, so we should be a little more specific. But the river is in Rancho Mirage here, and they also are opening it up for kids to go to different stations and be able to be outdoors and enjoy Halloween.
We're going to have trunk or treat in Borrego in the mall. I think they give the candy out of the trunk of the car. I'm not sure the trunk of the tree or something, but anyway, I'm going to make sure they get a couple back. We want to say hi to Gary, who's, I don't know, Gary, are you still in Montana? And Lane, they're watching.
Gary, everybody found us.
I don't know.
I think that's great.
Well, I did put a little blurb out, but I put that we would be on Coachella
Yeah, I know.
Valley.
I made a boo-boo.
Yeah, that's okay.
But are we on, I don't know, are we on
I don't know.
Coachella Valley at this point? We should be.
I don't know. But so, yes, my house is all decorated for Halloween. The chamber's decorated for Halloween. You know what? I do it, frankly, for me. I'm named Jack, and I'm the only one that see it. So it's just
you should invite me over more often, and other people would see you, but
you don't. And then I'll decorate for Thanksgiving. And
whole new conversation, I think.
I know, yeah. I don't know what. All right, let's see. I'm trying to, and then my phone is not updating on comments either. So
I'm so sorry.
I don't know what's going on.
Well, you know.
All right. How many of you out there
are confused?
Used to drink? How many used to drink Tab? The cola drink Tab, which I always thought was the worst drink in the world. Did you ever drink that stuff? It was the first diet.
You mentioned this. I can't even believe that Tab is still around. Hey,
started in what, 1963?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
You know, hey Jackie, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. We got other people. Laura Green are checking in. This is on our other page on Coachella Valley. Yeah. And Wendy, really appreciate you guys tuning in. Hey, I would like to give a shout out. I had such a great experience this weekend. I'm going to give a shout out.
Okay, while you're looking for that, Gary's,
I already have
Gary's in Montana, 39 degrees and rain.
What? 39 degrees? That's not Celsius, right?
Yeah,
we're 39 Celsius
me,
here.
Please. Yeah.
So, I want to give a shout out to Debbie Alexander.
Okay. Hey, Debbie.
Hey, Debbie. Happy birthday to you. It was so cool. I caught wind that she was having a birthday celebration, some of her friends, and they invited me to come by Tommy Bahamas to check it out.
Which has been really a happening place.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
I went there. Their outside patio was absolutely full, and it's huge. And even inside with 25% capacity, I was blown away. It was packed, and there was a line out the door. So there are restaurants opening up all throughout El Paseo. But what was really cool, so they invited me to just stop by. It was a birthday celebration, and I'd really...
Debbie's birthday, right?
Debbie, which I didn't know. I don't know her. So I was invited by someone else just to come by and check it out. So I thought I would do it.
Yeah.
What is a birthday celebration looking like and feeling like in COVID time? It was the coolest thing. These 6 ladies who used to work together at some particular point in time have maintained a relationship over the years and have celebrated birthdays and other milestones throughout their life. So I got invited to go there. I show up, I sit down, and the first thing Debbie says is, I know you, Coachella Valley, and Francoise Rhodes.
So
she immediately, I didn't know her.
She didn't know you were coming.
No.
You just showed up.
Right.
Someone else invited
Exactly.
you.
And then all of a sudden,
how cool is that?
And she says, love your show, and she starts to mention Mike Thompson and the RV show and different shows. So I know that she's, has watched our show. It was so much fun to see these women make a commitment to connect with one another. And what was really hilarious is because I asked her, I said, so when's your birthday? And she says, it was March.
Well, good for them, though.
So it had closed during COVID, and they literally were celebrating and beginning to pick up the celebrations for each of these women's birthdays. What a great thing you guys did for me. It was so exciting. I was so blessed. Debbie, happy birthday to you. And she turned 65 in March.
I mean, if everybody's celebrating birthdays, so good for
That's
them.
Right. Well, that's right. Happy birthday to everybody.
Whip out the camera and do like a live.
I know, I thought about it, but in public places you have to be very careful. And of course, not everybody is interested in being seen live now, because if you're no mask or maybe doing something wrong, you might have a friend tell you that, I'm no longer your friend.
Yeah.
I saw you with no mask.
Right. Yeah.
So
I
people
know
are intense.
A couple people I know were in New Mexico traveling. They decided to go on a trip. Love New Mexico. They were in Taos. And one of them was walking down the street, and he had a bandana, but he had pulled it down just a little bit. And someone pulled up in a car and rolled down the window and screamed at him, "Put your mask on!" I don't know. And they were out. No one was around them. But.
Well, people are always in such different situations, because I was at the grocery store just the other day, and there was 5 people behind me and 1 person in front of me. And I had my cart, and I was doing my distancing. And once I pulled up and put my stuff on the counter, all 5 people were pretty much on top of me. Like they weren't aware.
Did they have their masks on?
The person that was nearest to me didn't, and it was unfortunate, but the clerk literally had to say, "Sir, you need to step back, you need to find a mask, and you need to support everybody in the store." He didn't catch it. He didn't catch a clue. He didn't change a thing, and it made me really realize once again, I think security guards have to do that work. It's almost impossible for a clerk who's trying to serve and smile and be nice and cordial to move 5 people that were literally within an inch of me.
Because that really is not their job.
And I don't want to do it either. I don't want to, create any type of more anxiety that I'm already having with them being on top of me. I want someone else to do the policing. It makes sense, I think.
We have
people are
Dan Mara from Wisconsin says hello.
Hey, how are you? What's going on in Wisconsin? You guys had a beautiful summer. You guys are probably getting cold now.
I know. So no one drinks Tab? No one said a word about Tab being gone.
Well,
I guess you don't care.
I guess there's a reason it's gone.
It's a terrible drink. All right, going on. Let's see. We dodged the purple bullet here, but some other things are going on. Well, I'm trying to get.
I don't know if we did dodge the purple bullet. On Tuesday, we actually didn't meet the requirements to stay in our tier 2 or red tier. We're going to know again on Tuesday, And yes, it was adjudicated, it was pushed off to see if we could change things. But all indication is things aren't changing, so I'm not really sure what Riverside County will do on Tuesday. It looks by all, I hate to make these prognosis, but it looks like we will not be able to stay in Tier 2 red based on the information. Now, I don't know what Riverside County is going to do, or really what California is going to do. It's not Riverside County's choice at all.
Well, the paper said, because I was looking around this morning, that they were going to give us, Riverside County was going to give us a 1 week grace
Which is
period.
Tuesday, it ends on Tuesday.
Yeah, to give our act. I thought this was from Tuesday to the following Tuesday.
Right,
to
it was
get our
last
act
Tuesday.
together.
Last Tuesday they made the announcement.
Yeah.
So this coming Tuesday will be the next review time. So we
Okay.
could be out and back into the more restrictive tier
Wow.
by Tuesday. And by
People are not
all
gonna go
indications, the numbers have not improved enough for us to stay in the tier we're at. I don't know what ultimately California will do, because there's two different numbers. There's a case and a positivity rate. Our positivity rate is actually within the confines of tier 2. It's the case rate that's a little bit high. And if we had more testing, that case rate actually may be within compliance, but we don't test enough in Riverside County, and as a result we have a bumped up number, and so everything gets skewed and manipulated a bit. It's a tough call. I mean, Riverside County I don't think should be moved out back up into a more restrictive tier based on everything I see, hospitalization rates, ICU, and activity, and especially here in the Coachella Valley, because we're literally in a desert area, and everything is very spread out. And now our restaurants, for the first time, even though it's 102 today, you can go outside and we're starting to see restaurants finally being utilized out here. Right.
Yeah.
122 degrees is difficult. When it gets to 102, surprisingly, you can sit outside.
Yeah, because we're used to it. I went by Eisenhower the other day to get a...
Eisenhower's our hospital. Make sure we're talking to
I know,
California.
I
So
know. Sorry, you guys. Yeah, Dan Scanny said he tried Tab at least a few times, and that was more than sufficient to make him switch to another diet beverage. Thank you. So at least it's not just me that thought it was horrible. Anyway, here in the Coachella Valley, in the desert, where it's still 100 degrees, I went to get a routine blood test. You know, once a year, get whatever they look for. I don't even know.
What do they look for?
I'm not sure. To see my cholesterol. I don't know if I'm still. And I'm going to ask them what type of blood I have, since they keep talking about your blood type. I don't even know.
I don't know what mine is either.
I don't. So anyway, I went by Eisenhower, big hospital. In fact, it was in World News Tonight. We've been all over the map with Eisenhower because that's kind of the primary, we'll say, hospital that gets more notoriety than the other two really good hospitals that we have here in the Coachella Valley. Anyway, there was no one, and I know it's by appointment only, in our drive-up testing area. And I thought, and they have this whole parking lot with tents and filled with all this stuff, and I thought, okay. But what really got me is
and there was nobody there.
There's nobody there. So I go in my normal blood test place, which is the Eisenhower place. They have all these different labs all over. I walk in there, there's not a soul in there. I go, oh great, I can just get this done, and I'm out of here. She goes, are you in here for an x-ray? And I said, no. She said, well, we're closed. We're not giving any blood tests. We're only doing x-rays. You have to go over to the hospital. So I go over to Eisenhower Hospital. The waiting room is packed with people. Isn't the whole idea to spread everyone out? Well, they're packed in there, and a gal looks at me and she goes, 2 hours. I said, see ya. I turned around and left. It makes no sense.
It doesn't make a lot of sense. And I've also seen emergency rooms in regional desert. We have 3 different major hospitals here: JFK, Eisenhower, and regional. And they all have different specialties. Regional JFK, you can have babies. In Eisenhower, there's
you can?
Eisenhower?
Yeah.
You can have babies in Eisenhower?
You can have babies
when did that start?
A couple months ago.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
And it's Midtown. I know I've digressed. But the triage in regional was outside. So it was 115 degrees, and I was being shared with people who were sharing with me. I brought my child to triage. To emergency room because of issues, and they were sitting outside.
Yeah.
115, 20 degrees because they didn't want the people indoors. And as you also know, and it's really a challenge right now, is you can't go in with your loved ones into that hospital. So, and this is really starting to affect nursing homes. I'm starting to see more and more actual protests by people that are in nursing homes themselves that haven't seen people in 7 months, haven't hugged a grandchild, haven't seen a loved one to check in with them, don't have an iPad or an iPhone to be able to connect with the outside world. And they are starting to say, even though their nursing homes are at risk, that the depression and the levels of sadness in the nursing homes are affecting even maybe more than the few deaths that are occurring within, well, more than a few deaths. We've had a lot in nursing homes. It's a real issue. Mental health, physical health, COVID, and the balance. Sometimes I'm just not really sure we're making a lot of sense when you mention, hospitals are busy, but yet there's nobody in them, and we're having to serve people outside. Nursing homes, people can't be seen, living the last part of their lives, and they can't be around the family. I don't know, Francoise.
I want to say hi to Wendy.
Changing subjects, thank you.
No, well, actually, they're going to keep nail salons open if we go back into the purple.
Oh, they are.
They're changing the whole thing.
That's cool.
Let's see, Jacqueline Wills, looking awesome, beautiful weather.
Hey, Jackie,
Roger,
thank you so much.
Hi, Jackie. Hi, Roger. Hi, Vicki Lee Mills. Hi, Shelly. Or is that Shell?
I don't know. Let's see what it says. Shell Nixon.
Shell.
Yes,
Hi.
absolutely.
Oh, that's a pretty name. Do you like the beach? Do you live by the beach?
I like it.
I know, it's a pretty name, I think. Hi, Diane. So I kind of jumped over to Coachella Valley also.
Oh, great. Well, you have to, because
I'm jumping around.
Yeah, we're tuning in. Yeah, we're sharing across the board at travelingwithfrancoise.com, and this is my co-host, Francoise Rhodes. I'm Craige Campbell with CoachellaValley.com, and you can go there and take a look at us. And we're streaming via Today's California, one of our very large Facebook pages. And we also have Instagram. You guys should check out our Instagram pages on Today's California, Instagram Coachella Valley, Instagram Canada as well. Unbelievable videos and pictures provided by so many fans throughout the world. You're not going to be disappointed. You definitely should check them out.
And actually, and during the week too, we look at, we go and check out, and I try to go answer questions. And I don't know, we're a couple, 3,000 or so of you went back and looked at our shows or more. I don't know. So we understand if you don't watch right now, but and we understand that you go back and watch later. And we really appreciate those of you that are watching this probably tonight.
That's true.
that are watching it right now. We thank you for watching. We don't want to ignore you.
And we hope you share it, with your friends, or invite some people. Let us know how to improve what you want to hear. We've been doing this for quite a long time.
I know.
And it's been a lot of fun to be able to come every single week, even through the pandemic, and try to share about things that are happening, opening, closing, what's going on in general, just to take on COVID here in the Coachella Valley. I'll tell you what, cars are happening now. I am seeing more and more people everywhere we go. At Tommy Bahama's, they have an outdoor patio. It was full, Francoise. Yeah. And as I drove down El Paseo Drive, which is our rodeo drive here in the Coachella Valley, restaurant after restaurant after restaurant had full patios and people in them, and lines standing outside. People are interested in getting outdoors, reconnecting with people, and I think that's going to bode quite well for our season. We've got Southwest Airlines now doing full-time around the year service here to the Coachella Valley. That's fantastic. JetBlue, Alaska, Delta, Allegiant, Boutique have all announced, America Airlines have all announced either new or expanded coverage to PSP, Palm Springs Airport International here. That bodes well for the upcoming season. And as the weather begins to break, that's exciting. And we have a housing market that's off the hook.
Crazy. We want to say hi to Diane Dalton as well. Hi, Diane. What's going on? I want to say hi to you. Yeah, I'm surprised that Tom Nolan left the airport here in Palm Springs and went to Florida when all these things were happening. I don't know if they have a new director at the
was that the director
airport?
of the airport?
Yeah, Tom Nolan. He was there for a long time, and he up and went to Florida. I don't know why. All right, we're in the desert. Thermal Beach Club. We're going to have 4 surf parks are in the works here. Why do we need them when the Salton Sea's out there if we could put all the money in the Salton Sea?
Wow.
Some fresh water.
Make a surf park at the Salton Sea.
Would that be like the most huge surf park ever? But anyway, we have 4 of them coming to the valley. One is going to have 326 luxury homes, and it's out there. For those of you who don't know, we have a BMW training track that I've been on. I've driven on the track. Have you driven on the track?
I have done the BMW
and it's pretty
performance.
Cool. Yes, very cool. So
we have one of the largest private racetracks. We're talking 200-mile-an-hour legit racetrack out here. It's actually, I think, 2 different racetracks that are combined together, making it the largest private raceway. It's either in the United States, could be in the world. Quite an amazing place out there where they basically put homes on the racetrack. And those homes are really glorified garages, right? Where you come for a weekend and maybe race your car.
It's like homes that are built around airports, Bermuda Dunes. There's a whole strip of homes there where people just pull their planes into the hangar and it's right there in their garage.
Amazing. So they store these incredible cars out there.
Living wrong or something.
And they got and then they have a BMW who's actually put a performance race track or training facility down there. And I think that's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So Thermal is a city, and we're going to be putting wave pools in, is what I'm hearing. You know, we used to have Wet and Wild, which was a water park out here, and then Knott's Berry Farm took it over.
Well, they probably can't be open because of COVID.
That's true, but they are actually now in the process of converting it to one of the wave pools that you're talking about.
All right.
So it seems to be the big thing here. I just don't know if they're going to get done.
Yeah.
You know, because of the change in COVID.
So why are they blaming COVID on all this stop construction? This is what I find interesting. Our Native Americans have property, a lot of property here in the Coachella Valley.
Right.
And they, through this whole COVID, they have managed to build a brand new spanking casino.
That's right, brand new casino
in Cathedral City.
That's right.
So that construction wasn't on hold, but why should all these other things, as long as they're following guidelines with a mask, and you know, a lot of these construction workers don't work right next to each other anyway. One's over here, one's over there, they're all spread out all over. Why did everybody else just stop because of COVID?
I mean, my guess is that with the casinos, they're hiring because it's open. You know, we talked about the Rock Yard is actually at Fantasy Springs. They play music. Even though music is outlawed in California, live music is outlawed in California, although I am seeing it in different locations. Fantasy Springs, one of our casinos, has what is called the Rock Yard. And every Friday and Saturday, they have bands that are playing, and people are supposed to be wearing masks going out there. But I've seen video, and it is packed out. People are up and about. The casinos don't have the same restrictions. Nuisance restrictions do not apply to the casinos here. So as a result, casinos are hiring, casinos are doing construction. The wave pools, imagine finishing and completing that wave pool, and then we have a restriction that you actually can't utilize it. So you can see why they, maybe construction companies and lenders and otherwise, are like, gosh, I'm not so sure because things might have changed on the economic side of things. And I think that's the thing, we're just not sure. Disneyland has no rules in California to open. Knott's Berry Farm, Magic Mountain, there are absolutely no guidelines. Or timelines or anything that is helping these major corporations and major amusement parks to open up. But yet in Florida, you got Disney World that's been open since July. So this is a problem for California, but at the casinos, well, we're allowed to do stuff. So
they do have masks, and they do make you wear masks inside and stuff. But I don't know, it's all strange. All right, what else are we going to talk? So we have people from all over. I don't know what I'm watching. So today I'm on Coachella Valley. Are we doing a watch party on the Coachella Valley?
Yes, we
Is that what we're doing over there?
And we shared it over there. So we have a watch party going on at Today's California and on your show as well, on your page.
Oh
so
my
Francoise
gosh.
Rhodes.
So Living Desert, they're going to have Halloween. So cool on them. That's good. October 31st, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So the kids have to go somewhere.
We're doing more and more, obviously, virtual fundraisers and things like that are happening. You know, we were working on a celebration of life for BB Engel. Promoter here passed away just recently. That's been postponed just because so many people wanted to participate live and be there during that celebration. But we had a hard time. We were having a hard time actually finding a place to provide that.
Sure.
So we've pushed that up as a committee, but we're still mourning BB's loss, and hopefully soon the Coachella Valley will be able to celebrate a great promoter and somebody that we all know and count as a friend. These are the types of things that are consistently being challenging. You know, weddings, celebration of life, any type of encounters and gatherings continue to be difficult to pull off. But yet at the same time, you see, like going to Tommy Bahamas, and I was outside, hundreds of people sitting outdoors, you know, with each other and talking and communicating. And yes, the servers are all wearing masks, but I still am confused a bit.
We all are confused.
Rock Yard, you can go to a casino and mingle, and then go right back into your city and maybe cause an issue, maybe not. So we could all do the hard work, and then an outbreak can happen because of
a group of 20 people who didn't care.
or following the rules. Because here you can actually follow the rules. Yeah. Right. So.
Yeah, and it's gonna, and we, yeah,
wow.
I know, it's, okay, so, Johannes, want to just give a shout out to Johannes, which we're gonna have, I think, next week we'll have a Johannes certificate to give away,
and maybe we'll also come back at you with the Windmill Tours.
Oh, yeah.
They're still happening, Coachella Valley, it's one of our featured events at Top, and we'll maybe provide some free opportunity for people to go out and take a look at some windmills.
You notice he looks at me when he says that? Do you notice he always looks at me when he says
she's got the windmill
prices
tickets
and stuff? Yes.
Because she has them in her pocket. She doesn't let me hold on to them.
Oh,
you know?
I just ask people. You ask some people for prizes.
I think that she just keeps them in her pocket.
Yeah, I should be using them. I don't use them.
That's the thing. See, I know she's not going to go out and use them, so we'll just keep them with her. Because I might actually take a group of people.
Boots. We sent Boots her certificate.
How cool is that?
What did she win? Johannes.
Yes.
So we sent it to her son in Palm Springs.
Yes, she was in Ohio. Yeah. And her son lives here in the Coachella Valley. Mm-hmm. So she won the certificate.
Doesn't that food look good?
Oh my gosh. You're hungry, aren't you?
That's making me hungry.
Sunday brunches.
It's, what is it? Anyway, they have 20% indoor dining, and then they have the patio dining, and they are closed Monday and Tuesday, just so you know. So is your updating on people saying stuff? Mine, I don't know what my phone's doing. I'm giving up on electronics, digital.
Well, I normally come at you on Coachella Valley. I made a boo-boo, and we're streaming live on Today's California. You can still find us on the other channels, but it might just be a little bit different of complexion of people watching, but that's okay. I think it's a great opportunity to get the feedback from around the world on what we're doing here, what's happening in the Coachella Valley and the Greater Palm Springs area. We come at you every Sunday at 11:11, and my name's Craige Campbell with CoachellaValley.com, and my co-host Francoise Rhodes with Traveling with Francoise. We've been doing this for, I think, over a year now, and we've been connecting for...
Oh, is that crazy?
It's been fantastic.
It's been over a year. I was thinking about that the other day.
And coming back at you.
I know.
And right after this, right when we get done with this on this same channel, Traveling with Francoise, she's going to be talking about travel tips, news, and information all over the travel industry around the world to keep you guys updated, because planes are flying. And I hear that they're packed.
Here's something. Okay, we're on Today's California.
Yeah.
I'm going to, because normally Craig's he's not on the travel show. Because it's Traveling with Francoise, not Traveling with Francoise and Craige.
That's right.
All right, but they have they're coming up with these new buttons and things and wristbands and sensors for people to wear when they travel going into different islands and countries and whatnot. How would you feel when you get off the plane at an airport or you get to your resort, someone hands you this button or pin that you need to wear all the time to let them know, first of all, where you are, and especially if
it's got GPS to it too.
Because if you're supposed to be quarantining for 3 or 4 days,
tracing and
they can
like
tell, and for tracing and stuff. This is the new norm for travel. Frankly, cameras don't even bother me. I'm not a big deal with this Big Brother stuff. Cameras all over. I think they're a good thing, especially when there's so much crazies out there killing other people. But at the button, well, there's a bunch of nutcases out there, so I think these cameras all over the place is fine.
We gotta get you off the news.
Yeah, okay. But this is this is big in the travel industry. Would that bother you, wearing one of those buttons?
That's a great question. You could see it feeling intrusive, but at the same time, if it's what allows me to maybe go experience a country, and that's the feeling of safety that they want for tracing, I might submit to it. The thing is, it's voluntary, right? If you want to travel, then that will be your choice to go to those locations. I don't know. That's a difficult question. Yeah. I had a question too. I got to go.
You had a question?
Yeah, I wanted to pose. I'm gonna have to go find it.
Okay. Sunnylands, by the way, those of you who are right here in the Coachella Valley, Sunnylands, beginning in November, offering outdoor tours of the historic Annenberg estate. If you have never been, go, because it really is fascinating inside that estate. And I got to play the golf course. I had the tour on the inside as well. And Walter and Eleanor Annenberg, what an amazing life they lived. So anyway, for those of you right here in the Coachella Valley, or if you're coming in the Coachella Valley, because we see that a lot of you are, we can tell by the license plates. That's how we know, us locals know who's in
where you're from.
Where you're from.
That's our GPS.
Unless you're renting a car, but more often, a lot of people have their cars shipped here if they're going to stay longer than a couple of weeks. And we see your license plates all over the place.
There's so many things happening. So the Dodgers pushed the Atlantic Braves to Game 7. They were down 3-1.
The World Series?
We're heading to the World Series.
Oh, okay.
Game 7,
yeah.
I know, it's hard to... So the Tampa Bay Rays were playing the Houston Astros in the American League to go into the World Series.
Yeah.
They finished up, and the Tampa Bay Rays 1-7, and they're going to the World Series.
So is this going to be a legitimate World Series?
Yes,
Not all this aftermath of who cheated and who did
that was last year. So it happened. And the Dodgers,
think they should have ripped their...
Well, the Dodgers are... the Dodgers have been, I think this is the 3rd out of the 4th year that they're going to the World Series, but they haven't won it in...
Oh, this is their year.
In the 80s. I think it's been that long ago.
Well, the Lakers won.
Yeah, and the Lakers also won the NBA Finals. I mean, LA having a resurgence in sports, and it's interesting. Today, the Dodgers will play the 7th game to see if they go in to the World Series.
All right, go Dodgers.
Isn't that interesting to see a World Series in, where were we, in October during COVID?
It's all messed up. In the golf, I'm looking at the golf schedule. The Masters is going to be played in November, which is normally played in April. Okay, I'm not even going to go there. Hi, Wendy. I saw something on the news this morning. It bothered me, but I'm not going to go there. Wendy says yoga. Do you do yoga? Do we? I don't do yoga.
So yoga.
Wendy does yoga. What about yoga?
Oh, well, I mean, I don't know about the yoga other than the fact that you can do yoga. Yoga is available to go into studios, just like workout areas. So yoga studios are open both indoor and outdoor, and there are different people offering it. And of course, online, there's a tremendous amount of Zoom, Tai Chi.
Okay, be honest. You sit there and watch an exercise program online. Do you out there, do you really do it? Do you just watch it and laugh and kind of go, okay, I'm going to have a drink of my soda right now while I watch you do all the work?
Or your tab.
Yeah, instead of in a room where everybody around you is doing it and
it's
you sort of
you feel
pushed, like you really ought to do it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I think that's more about you.
Probably. Well, I'll tell you what I'll be doing. I'd be watching it and going, gee, she's doing a really great job. How do you do that? Okay, so Wendy wants to know about yoga at Annenberg. Let's see. They have the
Sunnylands.
They have the estate bird walks going on, tours. I don't see anything yet about yoga. No, this is all about the tours. So indoor, outdoor tours. So no, I don't see anything yet.
This is interesting. Oktoberfest, which is in Munich. For 2 weeks out of the year, obviously in October. Guess what?
What?
Canceled.
Oh.
But we are having Oktoberfest.
Didn't I see that on the news?
The news is reporting that we're having some Oktoberfest fun at different restaurants that are running actually from September to the end of October, where the actual Oktoberfest in Munich is canceled this year due to COVID. That's just sad. It's just, and I don't even know the hundreds of year anniversary that was. Like, has it ever been canceled? Probably maybe during the wars and things.
Tell us, do you have an Oktoberfest going on in your festival? We are opening in Borrego Springs the farmers market next Friday.
Fantastic. And we have them here too. La Quinta, Old Town, and others. The certified markets are opening back up.
Opening back up. And also the Galita Meadows Sky Art sculptures that people every single day,
drum roll,
since they are finally open now. I mean, they have been closed since March. When did everything fall apart? March 15th? I think that was the day.
And this is just an open outdoor opportunity where you drive your car up and get out. I don't understand why that hasn't been open from the beginning of time, because you can easily separate at those sculptures are across tons of acres of desert land that you can drive to, get out, take a look at, take pictures, get back in your car, and never connect or attach or come in contact with another human. Well, so I just don't understand
a couple reasons. When everything started to close, people were going and starting to camp around the statues.
Oh, I see.
That they can't do. The foundation that has them, there's no camping around the sculptures out there.
There never has been.
They were never. But once this COVID started, people were trying to escape and go place somewhere different. So that created a liability of people catching COVID from gathering. They were gathering at the sculptures, and that's why they had to close them. If people hadn't started doing that, they would not have been closed. But
last week, you
Susan
mentioned,
Hartley says,
"Hey, Susan, how's it going?" You mentioned that's okay. You mentioned about virtual fundraisers and virtual events last week and how they're really working out. Joshua Tree Music Festival finishes up their 4-day virtual event actually in Joshua Tree. It's happening. The music
Have you been watching that?
I've watched a bit.
Are you seeing? how many views or how many people?
I'm not able to actually see that.
Oh, so you don't see that. I was wondering how they're doing that.
I think the one thing that I like about what they're doing is that they're doing it at the facility. So you get a little bit of the feel of the actual event. It's not just done in someone's house. And so you get a little bit of that outdoor process. It's just not the same. It's very difficult to sit yourself down, maybe in a chair or even with someone else to, maybe I invite you to share to watch it. Yeah. To really, you know, that program out there being 3 nights, 4 days is immersed in so many things. I mean, they got yoga to art, to living art, to food, to organic food, to the music, to different stages, to the interaction, to the camping, all that.
It's the vibe.
Exist.
The World Series. It's the vibe. It's the fun of going and feeling like the emotion of a wedding. The emotion when you met the ladies with the birthday party.
Fantastic.
To feel that emotion of a celebration. That's what we all miss with this virtual. We don't have any of that.
Modernism Week started on the 15th. I mean, I haven't watched one show because I don't know really what.
I know.
I'm going to watch
it. That's their preview, isn't it? Or is it
this is their fall preview, but it's a real show. I mean, they've
spent so much money on professional videographers and all this stuff to put this in. I don't know.
The children, so CamFest is something that Coachella Valley has supported, and CamFest is the Children's Art and Music Festival. It happens at Indian Wells the Indian Wells Tennis Garden pretty much every year. It's a Desert Sands Educational Foundation program, and this year they're coming at you in December, and they're going to do it virtually. And so I want to encourage you guys on this particular one, because what's going to happen, they're going to do basically about a 12-minute video. And they're going to represent different artistic genres or whatever through schools, elementary, intermediate, and high school throughout the Coachella Valley. And they're going to show the different art and all the things that the kids do, and the talent, both the music and painting. And they're going to do, I think, 6 different artistic events, and they're going to do a 12-minute video showcasing these different art things. And then they're going to pull it all together on the very last day. But most of it's going to be pre-produced. It won't be quite the same, but I'm going to try to do the best I can, because it's so important that people donate to these types of programs, especially now, because they're not having a lot of opportunity to meet at schools to even, do music and art and be instructed. In this particular case, they're trying to raise money. We're going to showcase the art, and that's going to be in December. More information here at CoachellaValley.com. Virtual events are on, and they're not that easy to do. People are going to have to really figure out a way to step up their entertainment value. Right. And because there's so much competition right now for streaming, like we're doing here, and others.
And these events. And this is what sometimes I don't want to discourage anybody from not watching a virtual. I mean, watch it. If you want to, please watch it. But I think the problem is, too, is that we plan an outing. Let's say we plan to go to this festival that you were just talking about. We plan to go to John. These are events that we plan in our life and make a big deal about it. And we get away, we go around new people, and that you don't have any of that. So to sit home and say, okay, I'm going to sit home and watch a music festival for 3 days in my living room on TV.
It's not the same.
It's not the same.
It really isn't the same. Yeah. And you're not even really supposed to be bringing people to your house, meaning, it's not like you're having a party at your house watching the show.
Susan Hartley says, just FYI, Indian Wells Art Festival virtual today.
That's
did
true.
You know about that?
Yes, they've been running.
Missed going, but enjoyed watching today. Well, good for you.
Yeah,
good that you watched.
Fantastic. And in fact, we mentioned it last week that they were coming to the Indian Wells Arts Festival, always at the Indian Wells Tennis Gardens, and they would curate some of the most amazing art from around the world. And then, of course, these artists were there, and there was living art, sculpture, there was so many different things. And now they did it virtually. They showcased it, the different artists around the world virtually. It's interesting to hear the reaction and experience, because that's really our world today. If you want to watch something, you're probably watching it streaming or on television. Yeah.
And I personally think when the events start back up again in real time, real people, human beings, I think they're going to do very well, because people are so ready. Just look at the restaurants. Look at the hotel parking lots. Look at the casino. People are so ready to try to get back amongst
even
humans.
David Mariner, who remember was on the phone with us. He owns the Village Pub downtown Palm Springs. You know what? He's posting stuff on Facebook. He's super excited because of the football and all the sports, and of course it's a bar with food, and he's open again, and of course it's getting a little bit cooler, so it's not as bad for him. But you can feel that excitement, what you're talking about. You know, when people plan to maybe go and experience something, even if they're not going with friends, it's just that, I think it's just the environment and the energy that happens when you're collectively with people that I definitely am missing. I am definitely feeling it. You know, I've tried to maintain such a good attitude, but it's difficult because I spent more time inside and isolated than I ever have in my entire life. And that's just not simple
and
to
not
do.
and by choice, but not by choice.
Right.
I mean, it's by choice to respect everybody and feel safe for yourself, but not by choice that you want to just do that.
And all the events are canceled, or they're now virtual. Right. So there's not quite the same need in us going out. I mean, I could go out every day and show something. There's no doubt about it. But I still have to be careful. Everywhere I go, I'm always worried that someone's going to tap me on the shoulder, say, you know, please don't film. You know, there's no one wearing masks here. We don't want to show that. And so there's this heightened anxiety, even when media shows up, to cover things. You know, people put their hands up, where before it was always, hey, hi, how's it going? They were so excited to have a camera.
No more hugs anymore. Now it's all this virtual. You tend to want to, and do you know that they're pulling down some of the stuff on Palm Canyon? The barriers that they're going to open, is it Indian? Palm Canyon.
Palm Canyon right now.
They're going to open a couple lanes down Palm because the stores have just said it's not working. It's not working.
Yeah, they closed off a section, unfortunately. You know, walking downtown Palm Springs, you got to park a little ways away. Heat's still there. So we speculated that, you know, when it's 105 degrees out, people are not walking 3, 4, and 5 blocks. They're gonna skip it. And that's what's happening. So they're reopening the roads. I think they thought they would move, you know, restaurants into the street and things, but they didn't really think through it. I don't think that well. They didn't really reach out to the merchants, which I found to be disappointing.
Right, enough merchants.
You know,
you can't listen to one or two.
That's right. That's correct. Maybe they did listen to a few, but you know, the government's trying to make a lot of decisions that I think need to include the community. You know, COVID is at the forefront. We are working really hard. I don't know about you guys, but out here in the Coachella Valley, I see most people really working hard to comply and to make sure that our healthcare industry is not being pushed or pressed, and it isn't here. Our hospitals are okay. We have plenty of room. Our ICU rates and our hospitalization rates are way down. I believe they're actually lower as relating to COVID in Riverside County. We're really at March levels when it comes to hospitalizations and ICU rates and deaths. So we are experiencing an uptick in the things that they're counting, case rates and positivity, but not so much in the actual loss of life area, which is really good news. And we're really hoping that Riverside County dodges another bullet here on Tuesday and we can remain in red, because I can't imagine, Francoise, us going all the way back to tier 1.
But now they have changes on that too, so it's going to be different.
How will it be different? Tell us.
Let's see. Nail salons and hair salons will continue indoor operations with modifications.
Or before.
So movie theaters, they want you to go, they will have to go back outside. But yet retails and shopping malls won't be closed completely. They will return to 25% maximum.
So
I didn't even know they got out of the 25% maximum.
The tier 1 is 25%, and then tier 2, where we're at now, is 50%.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
In fact, I went into the mall just the other day, once again, just to check it out. It was busy. I don't care what people say. There were people all over the Westfield Mall here taking, getting deals and being out and shopping. I thought it was very, it's worthwhile. If you haven't really forced yourself back out there again, the malls are a great place. There's so much room to be able to move and operate and get exercise and air conditioning and deals. It's almost like Black Friday every day.
And you can always wear gloves.
That's true.
Actually, I'm going to have gloves for the farmer's market because I'm going to be handling money and stuff afterwards from all the vendors and whatnot. And I want them to feel comfortable and that I'm not just, you know, touching everything and then taking it to someone else and all that kind of stuff. But if you... I'm trying to let you talk. Right. I know, just let me go on. Anyway, I'm done talking.
No, you're not. You can't be done talking.
No, I'm done.
No, you have a whole new show coming right after this, Traveling with Francoise. We'll be right back at you in like 10 minutes, and she's going to be telling you about travel news, information around the world. You want to know. You want to know about airlines. You want to know about cruise ships. You want to know about hotels. You want to know about what's open, not open. Traveling with Francoise right here. 17, 18 years. She's an expert. She's been all over the world.
I am not an expert. I'm just a person who loves to travel.
She's just someone who likes to travel.
Thank you.
So never mind.
And don't forget, you go to CoachellaValley.com. I don't care where you are in the country. If you want to see what's happening here in the Coachella Valley and surrounding areas, and he does much more than just this area too, go to, very simple, CoachellaValley.com, and you'll see all that you need to know.
Joshua Tree National Park right up the road. We have our Palm Springs area tramway that just opened up, the world's largest rotating tramway in the world right here. So many different things.
Windmill tours.
Windmill tours are open. Our restaurants are open. The weather's absolutely incredible. We are seeing pools and pool parties, special types of parties and engagements like that. All kinds of fundraisers, although most of those are virtual as we speak, and we've been talking about that as well. I wanted to give Dodgers, by the way. You can watch the Dodgers for $75 and do a drive-in. So the World Series is being played in Texas, by the way.
Oh.
It's not going back and forth.
Okay.
I think that's because they're interested in spectators
and keeping a bubble,
and they're trying to keep a bubble on some level for MLB.
The players and
that's
stuff,
right.
Yeah.
And so they'll be. I think it's at Arlington, Texas. They'll be playing. So the Dodgers, though, you can go to Dodger Stadium, near Dodger Stadium, and do a drive-in for $75 a car, and you can put 4 people in.
Well, that would be fun.
Isn't that just great? And so people are taking advantage of that, and they're literally in their cars. You can hear the cars honking, and people are going crazy when things are working out. So that's a cool way of doing stuff.
That is fun.
And then even though our theaters are back open, Mary Pickford and others have opened up drive-ins. I mean, drive-ins are back.
Yeah.
And I think it's pretty exciting that you could go. I did it as a kid.
Where a lot of fun happens at a drive-in.
And so, well, I don't know what she's talking about, but she's got some great memories that maybe she'll share on the travel show on her drive-in experiences. I just went with my family.
I did too. Well, never.
All righty. She's married too, by the way, just FYI. So anyway, I think the drive-in thing is kind of taking on, and we're seeing it more and more throughout. SeaWorld's open. I think it was interesting. I looked it up. They're a zoo. So, people are maybe always processing, well, what can I do?
Yeah.
And so we talked about this, about animals. If you just bring an animal, did we decide this?
Disneyland.
Disneyland. This is what we decided.
Open a petting zoo.
We decided, Disneyland can't open up here because there's no rules, and it's an amusement park. But SeaWorld is a zoo.
Yep.
So we have hypothesized that Disneyland simply needs to start having more animals.
Yeah.
I don't understand why they can't just
Knott's
change
Berry
their
Farm? Don't they have a petting zoo at Knott's Berry Farm?
Why don't they just change it to that?
Yeah,
Legoland?
You go call them and let them know.
Yeah, Newsom's on my speed dial. He picks up the phone all the time. All my wonderful suggestions and ideas, he's just on them, and not true. No speed dial from Mr. Newsom, our Governor Newsom.
No.
So what else? I think there's a couple things here, but we are winding down on our time here. What's happening in the Coachella Valley and Greater Palm Springs area. Craig Campbell for CoachellaValley.com and Today'sCalifornia.com. And my co-host, Francoise Rhodes. Traveling with Francoise. Yeah. What do you think?
All right.
What else we got here? Is there anything left on our little cheat sheet here? I finally have the last question for you, Coachella Valleyans.
I guess so.
This is the Coachella Valleyans. What do you think about Francoise?
What do you think about Francoise?
Well, no, I'm asking you the question. But I'm asking you guys the same question. San Pablo and Highway 111 has now been named Palm Desert's new downtown. Highway 111 on San Pablo through Civic Center.
No.
Yes.
I mean...
Yeah, it's been named our new downtown.
It's not.
How do you feel about that? And then do you think that's actually going to work?
No.
Why are they doing it, Francoise?
That little area that they just fixed up, that's the new downtown?
They have announced that from Highway 111 all the way to the Civic Center, which is San Pablo to where College of Desert,
some cute little
will
stores
now
there,
be
shops,
our new Palm Desert downtown. They're designating it as the new hub of Palm Desert.
It's a wonderful area. There's some great little restaurants, El Rodeo. There's some thrift shops. There's the bike shop. There's
well, they have a pawn shop there.
Don't they have a bird something shop there?
They have a small bar there.
Delicatessen.
They have a few things. They have a bike shop, like you said. I don't know. It seems like the complexion or the mix might have to change.
Not going to happen because it's that backing up into the highway.
Oh,
the
right.
Parking
The
in
configuration
the middle
is also just horrendous.
Yeah. So
just in general,
I love Palm Desert, but no, I'm saying no.
It'll be interesting to see how the city envisions that becoming some sort of downtown. I think downtown walkable. Accessible, easy parking, a place where you could have celebrations. I'm not seeing that here. No. I'm just seeing that they changed some roads. And they're calling it downtown. Well, on that positive note, thank you so much for joining us. I love this time, and I really appreciate Francoise you coming out and spending the time with me.
Fun.
And buy some real estate out here. It's going up. Yeah. So I highly recommend it. It makes our houses worth a little more. That's one positive thing. So are you going to swing around and try to turn us off? You want to do it this time?
Oh, you want me to do it?
Yeah.
Oh, if I accidentally push delete.
There she goes. Yeah. So come right back at us. Today's California, traveling with Francoise, and we're going to see if she can actually...
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Say goodbye.
Okay, see you guys later. Thank you.